Good afternoon, Hollis. Thank you for inviting me to have this interview following the death of our dear colleague, Joyce Kirton, who died on Tuesday. No, that's not. That's not. Thank you, Hollis. Good afternoon. It was mixed feeling that I'm here to take part in the interview, which you have asked me to do, following the death of our dear mutual friend, Joyce Kirton, who died on Wednesday instance, the 26th of this month, March 2020. Well, I'm sure you would want to find Joyce and I, Torrance, Iqubal, Mohammed, we have had a long relationship, which dates back almost 65 years ago. That would be, say, 1955.
And this must be related to the arts?
Yes, and culturally and otherwise. This is how I get to know her. As a teacher and a current school teacher, and her relationship with Canon Maxie Farquhar and Beryl Burney, Joyce Kirton, together with a number of other Anglican youths, invited Beryl McMurray to start a dance class in Caribbean movement, local folk and Caribbean dance. And I had the opportunity to join this dance class, which started in March 1955 as a class at the St. Paul's condemned school building next to the Anglican Church. There was a school there which was condemned by the Borough Council at the time, which gave rise to the schools in Harris Street. The Anglican school is in the Harris Street area there now. No. Yeah. So Beryl McBurney used to come along there once a week and give us classes in Afro-Caribbean, West Indian thing. And I took the opportunity to get an opportunity to join the class. And in September of the same year, they decided to form a group. And Joyce Kirton was the first secretary of our Rockstars group. It was, there was another Anglican youth named Venus Cole who was the president. And she subsequently went. So they were, both Joyce and I are foundation member of our Rockstars group. But as you know, our Rockstars group we are celebrating 65 years this year. And I was hoping that Joyce would have been involved in our the number of activities we are planned to have this year to mark the 65th year. Joyce was a member, she was a school teacher on C Memorial, AC. She was a school teacher, a PE teacher, lecturer, you name it. Member of the Bowl Board, member of the Queen's Hall Board. Apart from being a founding member of the Arawaks Dance Group, she was also a founding member of the San Fernando Arts Council, which was formed in 1969. And she was the first Junior Sunfest Festival Director. Yeah. She was also a foundation member of the National Dance Association in 1980. The Arts Council was in 1969, Arawaks was in 1955. She formed her own group in 1962, Lizufa Dance Company, coming out of an ANSI Memorial.
Does that have anything to do with independence?
Not really. There was an upsurge here. At that time, there were a number of cultural groups in San Fernando. And that is what also prompted us to, in due course to form the San Fernando Arts Council as an umbrella body to satisfy the needs of the thing, to have our own art center and things like that now. And well, that is an extension. But Joyce had made a tremendous contribution, and we have been colleagues. We have been very supportive of each other. And if you know her personality, a strong, a colossal woman, an icon, a phenomenal woman, a woman who no bars hold. If she has something to say, she would say it frankly and sincerely.
A woman of class.
Yeah, yes. She remained unmarried, and she was tremendously, almost every year, she would make it possible to do a production of the Bowl. Either she was a strong supporter of all the organization. When I was chairman, she supported me when I became leader of Arawaks. She supported me when we formed the Arts Council. She supported me when we formed the Dance Association, which I was the first chairman for the National Dance Association of Trinidad and Tobago in 1980. And we maintained a very good, close relationship. We had differences along the way, but she was never afraid to express herself frankly to anybody without fear of contradiction. It's sad at this point in time, to learn of her death, and I want to take the opportunity to extend to sincerest condolences on behalf of the Arawaks Dance Group, on behalf of the National Dance Association, on behalf of the San Fernando Dance Council, to her family on her recent passing.
Joyce was a member of the Southern Dance Company, wasn't she?
Oh, well, in 1972, Eugene Joseph School of Dance, Arawaks Dance Group, and the Elizabeth Dance Company, they had decided to form a Southern company, drawing the best to make it a sort of semi-national company then. But it lasted a few years. We did some very nice work. We performed for the pre-March Gras shows in Skinner Park and Queen's Park, Savannah. Yeah. But the Eugene School of Dance now is North Trinidad Dance Theatre, head by Eugene Joseph. But we all maintain close relationship because during that time too, Eric Butler was a member of the Arawaks dance group, and he was my deputy at one time, taking care of the junior dance company. And in 1972, he moved out and he formed the contemporary dance company. And then Eric became, he was the second junior festival director. And he made a strong move to expand. At that time when we started doing the junior festival, it was only for the Victoria Educational District. Yes. And Eric moved around, and we expanded our wings, and we included St. Patrick and the other Southeastern and Port of Spain, etc., etc. 8 educational districts. The rest is history now.
It's Trinidad and Tobago.
And including Tobago. Yeah. And it became a national. Yeah. This replaced the. You might remember there was the Trinidad Tobago Art Festival Association. Parallel to the Trinidad Music Festival Association, used to have biennially a Festival of the Arts for adults and for schools.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and at that time, the Trinidad and Tobago Arts Festival Association had subsided, and we took up the slack in the San Fernando Arts Council, and Joyce had played a major part in that, lending her experiences and things like that as a teacher, lecturer, and tutor.
This was before NGC became sponsor of
Yeah, yes, before that.
Yeah.
So, in spite of after retiring, and unfortunately, for health reasons, she wasn't active. But her group, she kept her group alive. She invited special tutors, etc., to assist her in her work, and has maintained. She had her last production at the Bowl last year. So that Joyce was tremendously dedicated to the development and promotion of arts and culture, with emphasis on dance.
She also was involved in the time when we had Alex McDougall.
Well, we had guests. Yeah, Alex McDougall was a guest tutor who was brought here. I think it's through Eugene. Eugene brought him here to assist in classical ballet classes and something.
Yes, I remember going to PSA or Naparima, where we used to rehearse.
Yeah, and then not only that, at that time too, we used to have the vocational school in the arts at UE.
Yes.
Every August vacation. McDougall was a teacher there when Eugene taught modern dance. I taught Caribbean dance during that period, in 1966 to 1971, around there.
And then from this organization, a number of us went to Festac,
Oh?
Festival of Arts.
Well, if we could go back a bit historically, from a historical perspective, right? Because when I gather here, a number of people don't remember that in 1958, there was a West Indies Festival of the Arts to mark the inauguration of the federal parliament, right? It was held in Trinidad. This is when, during Dr. Williams' time, when they were trying to inaugurate the West Indies Federation then.
Yeah.
And they had a big festival in the Botanic Gardens.
Okay.
And people from all over the Caribbean came. That was a tremendous thing. That was a forerunner for Carifesta.
Okay.
But people, for some reason, don't remember that. And and our group, our Rocks dance group, was invited with the Little Carib,
Yes.
and we represent Trinidad in dance. There was a Shakespearean type stage built in the Botanic Gardens, and our production was entitled Binaka, which Beryl said was a Carib name for dance. And we did a chronological thing based on dance in Trinidad, folklore and the history of dance in Trinidad. That was a tremendous thing, and it was well received. Simultaneous to that, you had Derek Walcott.
Mountain?
No, he did I think called Drums and Colors.
Okay.
And that had comprised all the leading actors in Trinidad. That was a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
And what is a highlight in the West Indian Arts Festival in 1958 was a production by a Jamaican group. They did a pantomime called Busha Bubed in the Roxy Theatre
That's in Port of Spain.
in Port of Spain. The West Indies Arts Festival, to mark the inauguration of Federal Parliament, was a 2 weeks exercise, the duration. So that was a tremendous experience, and Iraq's was part. I mean, Joyce was. What again you want to ask?
Torrance, what do you recall about the Commonwealth Arts Festival?
Oh yeah, that was in 1965, right?
Yes.
There was a Commonwealth Arts Festival in Great Britain. And Trinidad was, Aubrey Adams had a show in Albert Hall that he had a group of artists comprising Steelman and other dancers and things. But apart from that, there was a play written by Dr. Errol Hill, Man Better Man. And the cast comprised artists from all over Trinidad. Yours truly, and about 3 members from our rock dance group were selected to take part in that. And I did most of the choreography for it was Man Better Man was a musical based on stick fighting then. Yeah. And we performed in London in the Scala Theatre and in Glasgow. That was a tremendous thing over a 2-week period. Dr. Errol Hill, right? He wrote a book on West Indies, on Carnival and things like that. And unfortunately for me, he couldn't get a job here, so he went back to the States and was teaching at the university and died. But Man Better Man, he directed the Man Better Man, and also Walcott's play Drums and Colors, which were the highlight. So you had the Jamaican did pantomime Busha Bread. Beryl did Benaka, which was based on our local dances, etc. And you had the Biwi Ballet from Grenada, which did all the nation dances, Sarak and things like that. So it was a tremendous exercise. It was an opportunity for us to learn about the various aspects of arts and culture from the various islands. It was really a mind-blowing opportunity for people to come together and collaborate and communicate and learn from each other.
In terms of serving...
apart from that, another major exercise, and people from both Arawaks and Laserfar and other things. In 1967, there was the World Fair in Montreal called Expo 67. And a contingent comprising approximately 100 people with musicians, dancers, officials and things. Went to Montreal, Canada, where we stayed there for 6 months, performing every day. As a matter of fact, we have a house in Montreal. We had an old own pavilion. It was called the Trinidad and Tobago Grenada Pavilion. And we were one of the most popular West Indian company performing in Expo 67 Montreal.
Is that the same festival where some of the members who went up to perform remained there?
Some remained there, some came back here and they went back there and made quite a number of them.
Walter Elliott comes
Walter Elliott, Christopher Jordan,
Hafsa
Karamat, members from Civil Service Group. They all went and, made a name for themselves in various fields. Walter is now one of the leading, he went to Montreal first, and then after that he migrated to Toronto.
Yes.
And he's now one of the leading carnival costume designer in
Caribana.
Yeah, in Caribana. As a matter of, we were very instrumental in influencing the formation of Caribana in 1967 when we were in Expo. So Caribana started in 1967.
What became of Box?
John Box Millard. Incidentally, he's living in Petite Valley.
He's in Trinidad?
Yeah, we come. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, among the foundation members, and right now I could think about who's still alive, it was myself, it was Joyce, and John Box Millard.
Yes.
Most of them died.
Uh-huh.
Well, there was we had a very good female dancer who was a member too, and she migrated, Marlene Doubelet. I don't know if she's still alive. I've heard of her. But a lot of our members subsequently had joined Arawaks and joined Lizofa and were inspired and were given the opportunity to go abroad and quite a number of them have done well for themselves.
Yeah, including those who served in the Ministry of Culture.
Yeah.
I think Eric Butler.
Right, where he was a
director.
He was a producer director for most of the Caribana Festa in Trinidad, as well as the one in I think St. Kitts and St. Lucia or something there. Eric has done tremendously well for himself, as well as Eugene with the Trinidad Dance Theatre. You know, he was a cultural officer with
the Ministry of Culture.
The Ministry of at that time with Aubrey Adams.
Yes, Ambakaila.
Ambakaila, you see.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I mean, from another perspective, in Upper Bowl, over the years we have been making over here. Now you could have a performing center, right? Mm-hmm. A place to perform, but you must have place for workshops. For example, we needed a dance studio, we needed an art gallery, we needed a music faculty there, and we kept. They kept promising. We get caught up in the perils of procrastination. You know, they were very optical. We were looking at it. You can't have places to perform and you don't have workshops.
Yes.
And that is tremendous lucky. And while they have been built in a number of community centers, I don't know if they realize that, but most of them are badly managed because it's supposed to be for the people, the benefit of the people in the community,
yes.
And sometimes the management aspect get out of hand, and sometimes they don't want to rehearse for Best Village. They have to rehearse with our school or in the road or something because they don't have access. So what in 1971, Dr. Williams had introduced a number of advisory council, and one of them was NCC, National Cultural Council.
Cultural.
Yeah, National Cultural Council. Yeah, at that time, you have the NCC now, which is the National Carnival Commission. At that time, it was called CDC, Carnival Development Committee.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? So, Dr. Williams tried to introduce a number of advisory committees to assist people in the various areas, in community development, in sports, in social issues, and like. And in the NCC, the first chairman we had was Carr.
Edison?
Not Edison Carr, no.
That's the Commissioner of Police.
Joseph Carr father, just now I'll tell you his name. But Carr, he was the first chairman. Dr. J.D. Elder was the second chairman.
Oh, from Tobago.
Yeah. And the third chairman was Marjorie Padma.
Okay.
And it's during that period, during her term of office, right? James Lewa and I were members of the NCC at the time. And because of this, we got assistance from the then chairman, Marjorie Padma. Right? We formed the National Dance Association, that was in 1980, the National Parang Association, and the National Drama Association. So I was the first president of the National Dance Association, and James Taylor was the first president of the National Drama Association. And the Parang Association. And so those are three national associations, and then the rest is history. But following that, 1983, the NCC was dissolved, and the Ministry of Culture had moved on to was lodged in somewhere an office in Success Village.
Lavent Hill?
Yeah, Lavent Hill. And so on. Yeah.
You mentioned Marjorie Padma. Had she anything to do with God Bless Our Nation?
Yeah, she was the she was the composer that she was a teacher, I think.
Music teacher?
Yeah. She was related to the minister at the time to what Padma he was.
George.
No, that's not. Some meeting. Take it over a little bit. What again you want? Joyce, whatever we did, Joyce was always a part of it. When she was in Trinidad, she sometimes she spent 2 years in England, where she went to do PE course and thing.
Yes.
Right? But whatever, anything to do with art and culture, Joyce was always involved in it. She always had a say in it. In 1977, Joyce, James Lewa, and myself were invited to attend the Black Arts Festival in Lagos in 1977.
That was Festac?
That was Festac, yes. 1977.
77. Okay.
That is the same year when we reached back here. On the 7th of February 1977, we learned that there was a fire had destroyed. We thought that the bowl had burned down, but eventually we found that it was the auditorium. And they were going to have some queen show, and some electrical thing went off, and it was like if a relative had died, because the bowl had meant so much to us at the time.
Yes.
But at that point, Joyce, James Lee and myself were invited to be part of Festac 77 in Lagos, Nigeria. So whatever,
Go ahead.
Joyce was also involved in an exercise with the National Dance Association to form a national dance theatre company. Right? Joyce was a part of that committee. I think I was chairman for a while there. With the current president.
Joyce had formed, no, not Joyce, James had formed his own drama group. You remember the name of the group?
Yeah, well, you know, the San Fernando Drama Guild, I believe, was formed originally by Hollis James.
Horace James, okay.
Right. James followed a scholarship, national scholarship, which he, when he went across to Jamaica, Mona,
Yeah.
and he came back. He became the director of the San Fernando Drama Guild. Right?
Yeah.
Around the same time, around 1955. Well, our wax, James at that point too. James was vice chairman of the Naparima College, and he used to teach literature and drama there.
Yeah.
That is why people like Ralph Maraj and David Sammy and them.
Came out of.
Yeah, and at that time, for school certificate Cambridge, they used to do Shakespearean plays, and they so enact some of them at the Upper Bowl. And my group, Arawax, we were involved in that. You know, they did, I think, Julius Caesar and Macbeth. In other words, he did it at the Bowl, maintaining the original dialogue, but it, with a local flavor now. Because those were two plays. You know, they used to have a Shakespearean play for literature and for school certificate Cambridge. There was a Shakespearean, one of Shakespeare's play, and maybe one of Charles Dickens' literature. And things like that. In the days when you have school certificate Cambridge. So, James, if I remember rightly, he had gotten the British British Council or give him a bursary to and some aspect of the art, and he went across there and he spent 2 years and he came back. And he left Ralph Maraj in charge of Drama Guild.
Yeah.
Right? A drama. Remember at that time too, the bowl was under repairs. So most of the plays used to be done in the multipurpose room. When James came back now, I don't know what happened between James and Ralph. That is the time when he formed the San Fernando Theatre Workshop.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
But do you remember the drill hall?
Yes, of course.
The Methodist Church Hall?
Of course, I remember the drill hall. But as a matter of fact, let me... Naparima Bowl was completed in 1955. You know the first, who was very instrumental, who was the first chairman, was the Robert Bobby Montano, who died recently.
Yeah.
He was the first chairman, right? And the drill hall, when AWACS was in the formation stage,
yeah.
they did Beryl taught them a ballet, and they did it at the drill hall. Mm-hmm. The bowl was completed in 1955, you know. But it was formally opened in 1962.
to coincide with independence?
I don't know if it has to do with it. I can't say that. But what Arawak's Forceful Link show, which I produced and directed, was entitled Courtesy Catilla. We did it in 1961,
Okay.
and the bowl was not yet formally open until 1962.
Oh, you jumped the gun.
Well, I don't know, because we performed for both the opening of the Queen Napa Bowl and Queen's Hall, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. So you see, but when we were forming Arawak's primarily, our objective was simple, you know, to use the media as a healthy recreational outlet, and to use dance as a medium to spread Caribbean, West Indian culture then, and to build our own creative arts center then, our old headquarters. Well, this came into subsequently to fruition when we all come together and build the San Fernando Arts also Creative Arts Center in Circular Road.
Yeah.
So at least we achieved that.
Yeah. You remember when we were forming the Arts Council, we were looking for a home.
Yeah.
And somebody came up with a shell, a semicircular kind of shell.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah,
thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
would have been suitable for us.
Yeah.
But of course, that was stifling the
Yeah,
growth of the arts.
they thought that was, it would not have been suitable for the, and James came to me with the idea, and then all of us come together. Joyce was involved in that too, to form the, and we formed the Arts Council in September 1969.
69. No.
And we had, in those days, you had over 45 cultural groups. Remember the San Fernando Choral, the Norbert Brown Choral.
Southern something.
Yeah. Norbert Brown. You had the Walter School of Music.
Yeah.
You had Orpheus Theatre. You have Dennis Carr with his orchestra, and at that time you had the San Fernando Ladies Choir, which eventually became Southerners.
Oh, that's how Southerners came about.
Yeah, and then while I'm that, let me mention that the two church halls that contribute too much to us because of space was St. Paul's Anglican Church, old school building, and also the San Fernando Methodist
Drill Hall.
Drill Hall,
They call it where Horace James and those people.
Right.
The
Drama Guild and thing with Stanley Marshall and
yes, yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
So this, remember I was I was not a resident of San Fernando. It's just my father used to have a workshop here, and we eventually came to live here.
From Princeton.
From Princeton, Ivy Village, Princeton.
Yeah.
So I was not a San Fernando, but I always wanted the opportunity to dance because there was no Indian dance group here, no Indian teacher. So when they started this class, I took the opportunity and I joined, and the rest is history.
Okay.
But Joyce was always, we had a very good relationship. We never used to agree on everything, but we maintained up till before she, the week before, any information she wanted concerning the arts or the center or anything, or she wanted to use, she would call me.
Yeah.
So it's 65 years of relation.
65. Wow.
Because she would be, should have been 86. 87 this year, and I'll be 89.
Yeah.
And James Levi himself would be 89 this year. So the fraternity, I mean, we might have had our differences, but there can be harmony in diversity.
Yeah. But Torrance, your memory is so
When my memory is not
in depth. You know, one who recalls the late Clemmy George. Seems like he carved a route for you or what? Tell me about him.
I don't know. Clemmy was a, how would I put it, boy?
A walking encyclopedia.
He was a walking encyclopedia. He was a comedian. He was a mass producer, and he was a tenor. He was very close.
A singer or player, pan player?
He was a singer, but he never used to sing in public.
Oh.
He was very close to your Sugur Mohammed, who was later known in England as Yolano Sugur or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was very close to Yolano Sugur. He used to live in San Fernando Street.
Yolando Suku is the guy who said, "Ayaya, kilometer Suku Suku." Is that not this guy?
No. That's you're talking about what's his name now? Sundar Popo.
Oh, that's Popo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
But Clemmy George, I played Master Clemmy George. We had a thing called, you go to the mark called Festival of Mexico, and I played a dance in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So where you danced first? The Indian dance, and then you came into
No.
American folk?
Let me tell you something. The first school I went to was a Catholic school in Princeton. Although my parents live in Ivy Village. But I lived with my maternal grandparents who was a butcher in Princeton Market now. I live in Bonanza Street. So between ABC and second standard, I went to Princeton RC. And what is so excite me and fascinate me was at the end of the term, there's some concerts now. People, they're doing dance and skit, and I say, oh gosh, I want to be part of that.
Yes, of course.
So after second standard, I came back to live with my parents and them in Ivy Village. So you had a lot of things going on in the village because you had Indian wedding, you had Hindu, Muslim, you had Ramdila and thing. You understand?
Yeah.
So they said two things influence your life: heredity and environment. And at age 4 and 5, I used to go to movies in Princeton, you know. If I tell you the movies I see as a child, I done a lot, you know those with Samson Delilah and all them things, and Wuthering Heights and Hunchback of Notre Dame and Ben-Hur. And I used to go to Indian movies. Do you know the first Indian movie that came to Trinidad? Was in 1935, Bala Joban. I show you, and so on. So I was exposed to all that. I used to be fascinated. You know, in Princeton you have a triangle and it's called a square. There used to be a Salvation Army playing there. And I used to stand up in awe. Just listen to the drums and the cymbals and the trumpet and thing. I used to be music. It used to excite me. And then I used to look at the movies with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and them and Donald O'Connor and March and Gower Champion. So I'm just saying, you know, I'm not an expert in anything, you know. I'm a student of life.
So you're learning every day.
Education is a ever constant process. Because the knowledge is only potential power. If you don't use it to help yourself, then you know nothing. People say knowledge it's power only when it is being.
So you're going forward ever, backward never.
So I say learning.
You're keeping up with the Joneses.
Well, whatever it is, you put it. So, but I mean, Joyce has. I mean, we at this point we want to say things about Joyce. She was really special. She was unique in many ways, and she stood up for what she believed in without fear of contradiction. So we have maintained, as I said, for 65 years, a very good relationship.
So who she leaves to mourn?
Well, I know she has a brother, Selwyn, who lives in Montchagrin Street. And I know she has a half sister, Enid Kirton, is
Former lecturer.
who lives in Circular Drive. Then. And she,
Back a day?
No, she going back to Circular Drive.
You mean Circular Road?
Circular Road, yes.
She's going back there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she has other kinfolk, but the one I know Selwyn, and I know Enid. But she had other relatives that. Then eventually she moved from Montchagrin Street and went across to.
Was she related to the former mayor of San Fernando?
The former mayor?
Yeah.
Well, the former mayor,
Gertrude?
Kirton, that was her stepmother.
Okay.
In other words, that was the mother of Enid Kirton, who is a half sister.
Yeah.
They have the same father, but
Okay.
two different mothers.
Yeah.
If we could draw a conclusion there.
Yeah.
So Enid Enid herself was a very well-known teacher and writer, poet, and lecturer.
She just completed another book, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, Torrance, any closing remarks?
Yeah, well, we are looking forward to. Well, we were sorry to learn of her death. It's still. That is no respect of person. We would miss her tremendously, and we are hoping that. I say that is not. That is. It's a celebration of life.
Yes.
And we could draw from her experiences and her philosophies and things, and and she would remain indelibly in our minds as we move along. We wish her well, crossing to whatever place in hereafter she might be accommodated. And well, that is no respect of person.
One day for you, one day for me.
And that is inevitable.
Yeah.
So we have to take it in stride, and
Yeah.
while we are alive, especially this time when we caught up in an era of satanic majesty, like Satan taking over with all the atrocities, all the natural disasters, tragedy, war. The metropolitan countries still producing war material and all kind of thing that's going on. It's sad that in an age of civilization where we have developed tremendously in the area of science and technology, but somehow we are not able to relate to bring about peace, love, harmony, compassion, and empathy and things like that. It's really sad. In our own country here, where we are so blessed here that we don't appreciate what we have here. We take things for granted. I hope that people would wake up and realize that Trinidad is indeed a wonderful and a blessed country. And we should always strive for peace, love, and harmony.
Okay, Torrance, Iqubal, Mohammed, it
Yeah.
was nice having this conversation with you. See you in the cemetery or in the church.
Okay. Well, it might be a burning issue, or it might either be wait a minute. We don't know.
6 feet.
Either burning issue, it might or the situation might be grave.
Grave, yeah. Grave situation.
Yeah, it might be a burning issue. So we are waiting with the anticipation what if the relatives and what the friends and the family would be. We wish them all the best in their deliberations.
Okay, sir. See you around.
All right.